Off we go then in the Thames Challenge Cup, Multi-Boat Club B on the Berkshire station and Sydney Rowing Club on the Buck station. Past Temple Island they go. These nerve-wracking moments. Once the race starts, presumably the nerves dissipate and they can concentrate on what they do.
Yeah, it's much easier once you've started, then you can just focus on what you're doing.
After a lengthy delay, they've had plenty of time to think about it. I'm just watching Sydney Rowing Club having a little bit of a meander out into the middle of the water. Now they get back onto the Buck side, and they have had a good start to the race, the Australians.
Yeah, they raced Vesta yesterday, and they took about half a length off the end of the island, and it looks like they've almost done the same today to Molesey B.
And yesterday, Molesey B beat London Rowing Club by a length. They're on the Berkshire station, so they'll be familiar with the conditions. They got away at the start and quickly opened up clear water. Never completely shook off the London crew. Different today, though. They haven't been able to get the early lead on the Australians. So in fact, they're a length down. Go past the quarter-mile marker.
Yeah, that's really impressive. They had a half length by the end of the island, and now they're stretching out to nearly a length now before the barrier. The Sydney Rowing Club crew, they've got quite a lot of experience at Henley Royal and Antipodean crew. Quite a few of them, bar one, have been over here before racing in various other events, some Thames Cups, some Britannia Challenge Cups. They've got quite a lot of experience, as in the Y-folds as well.
So heading down, and there's some, you can see the speed, and now the conditions are really good for potentially record-breaking conditions with the direction of the wind, and it's about warm water as well. We've had good warm conditions here over the last couple of weeks, so we need to keep across any potential record-breaking performances. They tend to come in a close race, wouldn't they? In a race where you've got two going at it all the way down the course, whereas if it becomes a procession, then it's very unlikely you get any records. But if you get a good competitive race, potentially here, Sydney Rowing Club against Molesey B.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the case, other than the barrier records. Every so often you see a crew go out and think, oh, maybe they're going for the barrier record. I don't think that's the case today. I think Sydney are just going through their race plan, going through what they were planning on doing, making sure they get out, stay out, cross the line first.
Yeah, all those progress markers down the course, and checkpoints, if you like. It's a potential to get to one of those in a double quick time. But unless you, I mean, the wind is gusting straight into our face, and we're looking down the course, aren't we, from the finish line? So it suggests that'll help the boats down.
Yeah, it looks fairly helpful at the moment, actually. And actually, if you look at the water along the side of the boat that these guys are rowing in, it doesn't look too poppy either. So it might be a bit of a helpful tailwind, which is always welcome when you're racing at Henley Royal. You already know it's going to be a longer race than your normal 2K track. So a bit of a tailwind to keep you going is always very welcome.
So Sydney with the early lead. I think in the next couple of races you're going to be heading off Imogen. So I will just ask before you go what you're up to, because I'm presuming you're busy training and getting yourself ready for Lucerne World Cup 3 weekend after this coming one. You've got, what, 10 days until you're off to Lucerne, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right. It's always a pretty hectic calendar for me. Unfortunately, I'm not racing at Henley Royal this year, but it's given me the opportunity to pop into the commentary box today, which has been really fun. But yeah, just training as usual, preparing, racing at Lucerne, and then we'll be back into another block of training before the World Championships in September.
And whilst we're talking about fast times, are you looking for another world's fastest time in Lucerne? You quite often have fast water out there, don't you? Quite often an opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, Lucerne went quite well for me last year. I set a world best there, yes. So it can be quite quick. But to be honest, we think more about doing the race that we want to row and crossing the line first. And if that ends up being a world best, then that's a little bit of a bonus. Goodness, it is quite a tailwind now. The wind's coming straight into our commentary box, and Sydney are looking pretty imperious as they lead over Molesey B. They're coxed by Teresa Harris in the coxing seat, who made it to the semi-finals of Henley Royal in the Thames Cup, the same event back in 2022. So she's got some experience at the Henley course, and that's probably paying off for them today. Miles
Harold, you can see in the bow seat. The white headband on.
Yeah, youngest member of the crew, and the only one without previous Henley Royal experience, so I'm sure he's really enjoying his first trip over here.
I bet he is, and there are some in the boat with lots of Henley experience. On the Alex Nicol and 7 seat, he's had 4 previous Henley Royal Regattas, and Matthew Morgan as well, same number, 4. So it's a really good blend of huge experience and youthful exuberance in there. And here's the Molesey Boat Club B. It's the second Club 8, obviously, and they haven't got very much experience, bar Rupert Singfield, who has had 5 previous outings here at Henley Royal Regatta. But actually, at this stage of the week, you know, they've all had a couple of outings. They should be more relaxed, shouldn't they, in terms of knowing the way around the regatta.
Yeah, and I think this Molesey B crew should be really proud of themselves for the racing that they've done. You know, they beat London Rowing Club B yesterday, which is you know, a great race from them, and they've put on a really good showing today. Their blade work looks really good, and they're going to take it all the way to the end of the line.
So Molesey Boat Club B a few lengths down, Sydney Rowing Club all the way from Australia, all the way home through and into the next round. Good performance from them in the Thames Challenge Cup. They're completely unfazed, haven't they? Completely unruffled. It was a very straightforward performance from them. No nonsense sort of a performance. No dramas. So they can celebrate. No, they won't celebrate too hard because they're off to the next round, the next couple of days in the Thames. Sydney Rowing Club beating Molesey Boat Club B.